For millions of years, Earth belonged to giants. Towering creatures shook the ground with every step. Predators ruled entire continents. And for over 160 million years, dinosaurs dominated nearly every ecosystem on the planet. Then, in a geological instant, everything changed. 66 million years ago, catastrophic asteroid impact triggered one of the greatest mass extinctions in Earth history. The age of dinosaurs came to an abrupt end. Entire food chains collapsed. Forests burned. Oceans changed. And the mighty rulers of the Mesozoic vanished from the world forever. But while the dinosaurs were disappearing, another group of animals was quietly preparing to inherit the Earth. Mammals. For most of the dinosaur era, mammals had lived in the shadows. They were generally small, cautious creatures, rarely growing larger than a house cat. Survival depended on staying hidden. Now, with the giant reptiles gone, the world suddenly offered countless opportunities. Empty forests, empty grasslands, empty ecological niches waiting to be filled. Over the next millions of years, mammals diversified at an astonishing pace. Some evolved into predators. Others became swimmers. Some took to the skies. And many became larger, much larger, generation after generation. Mammalian body sizes increased. What began as tiny survivors eventually gave rise to enormous creatures unlike anything alive today. During the Eocene epoch, roughly 34 million years ago, one giant stood above them all. A colossal hornless rhinoceros known as Paraceratherium, standing taller than a giraffe and weighing many times more than an elephant. Paraceratherium was an absolute titan. For decades, scientists regarded it as the largest land mammal that had ever walked the Earth. Its immense frame became the benchmark for mammalian gigantism, the undisputed king, or so it seemed, because hidden within ancient rocks in India was evidence of something even larger, something that would challenge everything scientists thought they knew about the limits of mammalian size. A creature so massive that it rivaled some of the largest dinosaurs. And surprisingly, it belonged to a family that still walks the Earth today, the elephants. Our story begins in the 19th century. As European naturalists explored the Indian subcontinent, they uncovered fossil remains unlike any they had seen before. The bones were enormous, far larger than those of modern elephants. At first, the fragments revealed little. But as more discoveries emerged, scientists realized they were dealing with a truly extraordinary animal. Eventually, the species was named Palaeoloxodon namadicus, an ancient elephant that once roamed vast stretches of Asia during the Ice Age. Today, most people have never heard its name. Yet, this forgotten giant may have been the largest land mammal in Earth's entire history. To understand just how remarkable Palaeoloxodon namadicus was, we first need to examine its family tree. The genus Palaeoloxodon originated in Africa. These elephants were known for a distinctive feature, a pronounced ridge running across the top of the skull. This unique structure helped support their massive heads and powerful neck muscles. Over time, different species evolved within the group, and many were already enormous. One of the best known was Palaeoloxodon reki, which inhabited Africa for millions of years. Compared to modern elephants, reki was gigantic. Some of the largest specimens are estimated to have weighed as much as 15.3 tons. To put that into perspective, the largest African bush elephants alive today typically weigh between 6 and 7 tons. That means reki may have been more than twice as heavy as its modern relatives. Yet even this giant was merely a stepping stone. As population spread beyond Africa and entered Eurasia, evolution continued pushing the boundaries of size. New environments created new pressures, new opportunities, and eventually new giants. One branch gave rise to Palaeoloxodon antiquus, often called the straight-tusked elephant. These animals became widespread across Europe and Western Asia, thriving during warmer periods of the Pleistocene. They were impressive creatures in their own right. Some individuals stood well over 4 meters at the shoulder and weighed substantially more than modern elephants. For a long time, they were considered among the largest elephants ever discovered. Then researchers began taking a closer look at their Asian relative, Palaeoloxodon namadicus, and the numbers became almost unbelievable. Unlike complete skeletons displayed in museums, fossils are often frustratingly incomplete. A paleontologist may spend years studying only a handful of bones. Yet even isolated bones can reveal extraordinary information. One of the most important is the femur, the thigh bone. In large mammals, femur dimensions correlate closely with body size. The bigger the animal, the larger and stronger the femur must be to support its weight. When scientists analyzed fossil femurs attributed to Palaeoloxodon namadicus, they discovered something astonishing. The measurements exceeded expectations significantly, using scaling methods based on living elephants and other large mammals. Researchers estimated shoulder heights reaching approximately 5.2 meters. That's around 17 feet tall at the shoulder alone. Not the head, not the raised trunk, just the shoulder. Imagine standing beside a two-story building. That is the scale we're talking about. And height was only part of the story. Weight estimates were even more dramatic. Some calculations suggested these giants could have exceeded 22 tons. 22 tons. To appreciate what that means, consider this. A modern African bush elephant, the largest land animal alive today, rarely exceeds 7 tons. Palaeoloxodon namadicus may have weighed more than 3 of them combined. The implications were staggering. If these estimates were accurate, this ancient elephant wasn't merely larger than Paraceratherium. It was potentially the largest land mammal that ever existed. A mammal so immense that comparisons with elephants no longer seemed sufficient. Instead, scientists found themselves comparing it to dinosaurs. Not predators like Tyrannosaurus, but giant sauropods, the long-necked titans that once dominated prehistoric landscapes. Of course, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and not everyone was convinced, because there was one major problem. The fossil record was incomplete, very incomplete. Many of the remains attributed to Palaeoloxodon namadicus consisted of fragmented bones rather than complete skeletons. And in paleontology, missing information can dramatically affect size estimates. Could researchers be overestimating the animal's true dimensions? Had a few unusually large bones created a misleading picture? The debate was only beginning. And over the following decades, scientists would argue intensely over whether this elephant was truly the largest land mammal that ever lived, or whether its legendary size was simply an illusion created by incomplete fossils.